Hi and welcome. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to make a scene in Unity in which you can teleport around and also grab and throw small objects. So to do this project, there's a set of steps we need to follow. I'm going to open up a Google Doc that shows the steps and then go back and forth between Unity to show you how it works. So first of all, we need to start a new project, and you have to get some assets from the asset store. Get the SteamVR plugin, get the Oculus Integration package, and get VRBasics. So let's go and look at our project and see where those came in. In the project that I made, I've got a little scene here, and I just downloaded some fantasy pack free assets from the asset store. And then I also added on top of this little half wall a small cube and a small sphere. And then this is a terrain that everything is on. So the purpose is I'm going to be able to teleport around, and I'll also be able to pick up cubes and spheres and throw them. I needed to add the Oculus Integration package, so I'm highlighting over that right here in the Assets area, SteamVR, and then a package called VRBasics. You can find all of these in the Asset Store. They're all free. VRBasics is created by Zach Zidek. It's a great little package. Thank you so much, Zach, for creating this. I swear it saved my life. So we're going to use this VRBasics package for this tutorial. So that's the first step. Next, we're going to set up our scene with areas we want to teleport and then grabbable objects. Don't make too many just yet because you don't want to have to, we'll just kind of copy and paste them after we've got a couple of them set up. So I just put 2 in my scene. So if I go over to my scene, you can see I've got areas I want to teleport. I'm also going to make it so I can teleport on the stairs and on this little tower. And then these are my little grabbable, throwable objects. Next step is we're going to open up the VRBasics example scenes and find the teleport scene. So I'm going to do a little bit of a cheat here, and I'm just going to copy and paste the camera rigs from the VRBasics example scene into my scene. So let me show you what that looks like. The objects that we need from this scene are the OVR camera rig, the SteamVR camera rig, the teleport reticle, and then the VRBasics package. So the way I find this is I open up the VRBasics asset package and scroll down to examples, open that, scroll down to scenes, open that. And then we're going to open up the scene called teleport. It might prompt you to save. If so, save. Inside this scene, if I double click on something like the OVR camera rig, it'll kind of zoom me in to where that is. I might actually need to double click on the floor so I can zoom in a little better. This scene is not anything special. It's just a grid that you can teleport around to, but we're going to copy and paste the important items from this scene into our scene. Click on VRBasics, and then hold down Shift and click on the other objects. Hold down Shift and click on OVR camera rig, SteamVR camera rig, and teleport reticle. Let go of Shift and do Control-C to copy. Next, we're going to go back to our original scene. So click on the Assets folder again, go back to your original scene, and then we're going to paste those objects in here. Control-V. Now when it pasted them at the coordinates 0, 0, 0, but my scene isn't set up with everything at 0, 0, 0. So I'm just going to, while everything's still selected here, we're just going to change their position. I want my stuff to be at 306 on the X, and I just wrote these down when I placed my objects in the scene originally. My Y coordinate is 2, although I think I can make it 0. And then my Z coordinate is 295. So now I should have all those things located right in front of my little stone half wall. Not that one, but this one. And it looks like it's floating a little bit off the ground. I could bring it down just a skosh perhaps. So again, I'll hold down Shift and I'll click on the other objects and then bring them down where Y is equal to 0. That looks pretty good. Kind of use the arrow to drag them out just a bit, and now everything's in a good spot. Okay, perfect. If I click the play button, okay, I should be able to see what this looks like in VR. And so if I put on my VR headset, I can look around and look behind me, and there's my cube and my sphere. I seem like I'm in a pretty good spot. So far, so good. I noticed that I had to look behind me to see the cube and the sphere, so I can also take all of these items and just adjust the rotation so everything's in front of me and not behind me. So again, I'll hold down Shift and I'll select all of these things, and just make the rotation on the Y be 180 degrees so it flips me around. Okay, perfect. Next thing. We open up our scene again. We did Control V to paste. We adjusted the XYZ coordinates. Looking good. So next we're going to select the floor in our scene and add the script VRBasics teleport location, and add this script to any other objects that you want to teleport onto. It's important to make sure all these objects have mesh colliders or box colliders so we don't fall through the floor. So first I'm going to choose my terrain, and I think it's selected now. Yep, here's terrain over here. And I'm going to make my terrain make it so I can teleport onto it. So over here, I'll choose Add Component. And then I want to look for, I have to move my little SteamVR thing because it's blocking the Add Component menu. There we go. And I'm going to type in teleport. And I should see a script that says VRBasics teleport location. That's the one I want. Okay? And that's all you have to do for the terrain. I'm also going to do this on the stairs and on the top of this tower. Notice that my stairs already have a mesh collider. If your object doesn't have a collider on it already, you're going to add it by doing Add Component, and then I'll clear the search. You're going to choose Physics, and then choose a box collider, a mesh collider, some kind of collider so that you can actually stand on the object. But we are going to add a script, and so we'll add the teleport location script again on the stairs. And I'm going to do the same thing on the tower. Add Component, VRBasics, teleport location. It's having trouble selecting it because of the webcam in the way. Let me slide that out of the way a little bit. There we go. Okay, perfect. At this point, I can test teleporting, but since I'm testing using an Oculus, I haven't had good luck getting this to work when I've also got Steam enabled. So let me show you a trick for testing it without Steam enabled. I go over to Edit, and I'm going to go to Project Settings, and then go over to Player. Click on that, and then down here there's an area that says XR Settings, and it says Virtual Reality SDKs. If you're using the Vive, OpenVR is just fine. But if you're using an Oculus like I am, click the plus button and choose Oculus, and then click on OpenVR and do the minus to get rid of it. So now it's going to use the Oculus tools instead of the SteamVR tools, and I should be able to close SteamVR as soon as I click play again. So I'll choose play. I'll put on the headset, and this time I should be able to use the hand controllers to teleport around. And now I can see my hands in front of me. They're really creepy looking hands. This is part of what came with the camera rig. And I just realized that when I rotated myself in a really weird way. Look at how strange this is. I'm going to need to adjust that. Wow. Okay, let's fix the rotation. Wow. That was weird. Back to my camera rig and things. And it looks like my X rotation got changed to -90. Let's just put that back to 0. That was really odd. I'm going to try again. That looks more like it. Cool. And so now I've got my creepy hands. And if I, the thumbstick on my right hand, if I push it like it's a button, then I get this pink arc. And then if I just aim the pink arc wherever I want to teleport, I will teleport there. Pretty nifty. And I should be able to teleport on stairs because I made this a teleportable object. And here I am on stairs looking down on my world now. And I should be able to teleport on the tower. See how that works? So just use the thumbstick, push it down like it's a button, and then you can teleport anywhere you like. So far, so good. So the next step is learning how to make these objects grabbable. I want to be able to pick them up. So I should be able to teleport like right in front of them. And I want to be able to reach out and just pick them up. So that's the next step. Okay. Next, we're going to click on each of my grabbable, throwable objects. Mine are awfully big right now. I might actually scale them down a little bit and maybe squish that table that they're on. Let me slide the webcam window out of the way a bit. And we're going to add 2 scripts to each of my grabbable, throwable objects. We're going to add VRBasics grabbable and then tossed and retrieved. Okay, so I'll go over to my objects over here. Those are my little sphere and my little cube. I think I'm going to lower this platform just a little bit so it's not quite so high off the ground and I can reach it while I'm standing. So I'll use the scaling widget. And with the scaling widget, there it is. I can just shrink it down a bit. And then I'm going to click on each of these, and I'm actually going to make them smaller as well. So right now my cube is 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Same thing for the sphere. Perfect. Okay. And so these little objects right here, let me just use the translation tool to drop them down so they're kind of sitting on the table. They right now have colliders on them, which is important. They need to have colliders so that they have some solid texture to them. I'm also going to give them rigid bodies so that they respond to physics. So I'll do add component, and I'm going to get rid of the search here and look in physics, and then go to rigid body. And so now my sphere has a rigid body on it so it can respond to gravity and be kind of kinematic. I'm going to do the same thing to the cube, if I can select on it here. Okay, and we'll add component, physics, rigid body. And now I'll do what the instructions said, and I'll add the scripts. So we'll add component here. Again, I'm going to slide the webcam window out of the way a little, and I'm going to look for grabbable. We want VRBasics grabbable. Okay, when I choose VRBasics grabbable, I can modify some things about it. I can choose it so that it highlights with a color when I've grabbed it, which can be kind of engaging and fun. So maybe something like a nice lime green. I can make it so that it's grabnetized, so it sticks with me. I'm going to give it, it looks like it comes with a grab net strength of 1 and a grab break force of infinity. Let's just go with it and see. I'm going to make grab hide the controller. I'm going to make it throwable. Okay, so far so good. Next, I'm going to do the same thing to the sphere, but actually first I'm going to add the other component we need, which is the tossed and retrieved. So add component, tossed and retrieved. Tossed and retrieved makes it respawn in a certain location after I've thrown it, and I want its location that it respawns in to be the same where it is right now. So I can see its X position is right here. I'm going to copy it and then put that in the X there. Its Y position, I'm going to paste it, and its Z position, I'm going to paste it here. Awesome. We'll do exactly the same steps to the sphere. So we've already added the rigid body. Let's add tossed and retrieved. Same thing, we're going to take the coordinates to where it respawns and just paste it here. Copy, paste, copy, paste. And then we'll also add the grabbable script from VRBasics. Again, we'll make it highlight a certain color when it's touched. Maybe this one will be a nice pink. I will make it be grabnetized. Grab hides the controller. It is throwable. Okay, I think I like what I've done here. Let's see what's the next thing in the steps. We're ready to test it. We've already gone into Edit Project Settings Player, and we've deselected OpenVR, and we've added Oculus. So let's see what happens if we can grab and throw these objects now. Okay, grab the headset. There we go. My creepy little hands are here in my lap. Okay, so I'm a little far away from my object, so I'll use the thumbstick just to teleport a skosh closer. This is a little tricky. Okay, now here's my ball. I'm going to grab it. I'm having a little trouble getting it. There we go. Nope, I'm just like out of the sensor range. There we go. I've picked it up. I've grabbed the ball. I can throw it. And there it goes. Let's try it with this one if I don't have an issue with my sensors here. Oh, there we go. I got the green cube. It's with me. Perfect. So now I've got a scene where I can teleport around. I can pick up objects, grab them and throw them. Not totally sure when that ball's going to come back to me. It might just roll forever. I hope you enjoy making something just like this, and thanks again to Zach for the awesome VRBasics package. It was really helpful.